Hey guys, so today I'm going to be using Embrillance to make an embroidery patch for a jacket. So first I'm going to go up and pick my hoop size that I want to use. I'm already in a 5x7, but I want to go through and show y'all the rest of them. So you can have like 8x14, and those are the different hoop sizes for the Brother machine that I have. I have a Brother PE800, I think. Yeah, PE800. And I'm going to be using a 5x7 hoop. And you can click here and change the rotation if you want it vertical instead of horizontal. Okay. Now I've already picked out a design right here. So you can find it anywhere on the internet. Take a screenshot of it. And to upload it, let me go ahead and delete this so I can show you how to upload it. So you have to be in Stitch Artist. So if you're in anywhere else, you won't have an option. So you have to be up here in Stitch Artist. And then on the left, you'll see Image. And it's going to pop up all your files for your computer. I have a screenshot of this design that I want. So I'm going to click on that. And when digitizing embroidery designs, it's best to have it the size of the reference photo be the size that you want it to be stitched out as. So if you want it to be a big design, make the photo big and digitize it at that size. I would like, instead of resizing it after you've digitized it. Okay, let's see, that big. Okay, now you can also click on your photo and change the transparency of it. So if you want to make it like that or a little bit clearer, I want mine at a certain sweet spot, click off. Now I'm going to plot my points. You can plot with points on this by just picking like that. But for this one, I can do a whole circle, whole black circle, because these two parts right here, and I could just have this red column cutting in between the two black pieces. But I think I'm going to do two different pieces. So I'm going to go here, make it a little easier, and make a circle. Drag it over here, kind of line it up a bit. And now to add a point on a line, I'm going to zoom in a bit. You're going to double click the line. Whenever it pops up that little symbol below, that means you can double click it. And if you want to delete it, you just hover over it and double click it and it's been deleted. So bring that in a bit. I want it to match up with my reference photo. Zoom out a bit. Now I'm gonna delete some lines like this one. Pull that here. Now I'm going to be using this patch on a jean jacket. So pull that out. And these little dotted lines with the circle at the end, they help round out your image. Now, if you hover over it and you see that little symbol below the mouse, you're going to use 2 fingers to click it. Then you'll get another list of options. So for this line, I want it to be completely straight. So I'm going to hit line. And I'm going to turn the transparency down. And you can see the little line breaks. You see them? I don't want that. I want it to be completely straight. So what I'm gonna do is kind of drag it over a bit just to where it lines up perfectly. Go back to my image. Okay. Zoom out a bit. All right, now I'm gonna pick what type of stitch that I want. You could pick a run, and it's just a run. I want it to be a fill stitch. So click on it. You can also choose a satin border and it'll show you what type of stitch it is over here, or just a column. But for this design, I want it to be a patch or a fill stitch. Okay, now I have the same exact shape on the side, so I'm just gonna copy, paste it, and then drag it over, and then flip it. Now to flip your image, you're gonna go, or flip your piece, you're gonna go to the top, hit the arrow, and you're gonna hit this one. These are to change anything, like to go back if you made a mistake or anything like that, to undo your last action. But right here is to flip it. Okay. Drag that over. Okay. Now I want these two images to be black, so I'm gonna go back to the top where it says stitch art, where it is stitch artist. This is a symbol for stitch artist. I have Embrillance, I think it's called Essentials, and then I added the stitch artist. So those are two different softwares. They're both Embrillance, but you can have one without the other. So I started off with Essentials, and that's like if you were to buy a design off Etsy, or if you got an embroidery design anywhere else, you can upload it to the software, but you won't be able to make any changes to it. You can only resize it. So if it's small, you can make it bigger, or vice versa. But you won't be able to change anything on it. Like if you want to take this the eyes out, you wouldn't be able to do that. So I got Stitch Artist, and now I'm able to actually create the designs. Embrillance Essentials, I think it was $130, and then Stitch Artist, I think it was $160. So I got Essentials first, and then a few months later I got Stitch Artist. Okay, like I said, I'm making them both black. So on my keyboard, I'm just gonna hit Control, hit both of them, or no, Command, hit both of them, yeah. Change the color to black. Now, when you're changing your colors, you have to be in a specific thread that you want, a brand. You could pick any one, but it's gonna ask you to pick one. So I use this one. This is not necessarily the brand I use on my embroidery with like my machine, but that's just the color I picked. So I want them to be black. I'm gonna type in ebony for this shade. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to the next part of the design. Make this a little brighter or more. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the eyes. So for that, I'm gonna plot my points. You're gonna go up to the top, make sure you're in Stitch Artist. Let me draw with points. And I'm just gonna click on it. And I want this to be a straight line right here, so I'm just gonna do 1 point. And then I'm gonna pick what stitch I want. I think I'm gonna keep it as a fill stitch. Click on this arrow, click off of it. I don't know if you have to, but that's the way I do it. Clicking off of it, hover over it, double click it, hit line, and then I'm gonna change the color of this over here. Type in snow. Now I want the same design on the left or on the right, so I'm just gonna flip it. Go up here. Nope, that's not. Is that it? No. What the heck? Oh. You just have to figure it out. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna go for the next image that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna go up to Stitch Artist again, and I'm gonna do this border. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the border, and then I'm gonna do this line through the eye or through the face. So I'm gonna go up here, hit that circle, try to match it up with the size. Go out a bit. Now I'm gonna click on the satin border, and you can see it's a bit too small. So I'm gonna go over here to the right, and you have to be in Stitch Artist. So if you click on that, you don't have those same preferences on the side. So you have to be in Stitch Artist, click on the image or the item, and go over and you have different preferences. So this is for the stitch. So I want it to be thicker. So I'm gonna go up a little bit more. Okay, maybe not that much. You can also choose the density you want. I currently have it as here. I think that looks pretty nice. I'm gonna go down, and you can actually see through the thread. I don't want that, so I think I had it at a 4.0. Bring it in a bit. Now this red and green symbols, shapes, that tells you where the machine is going to start on this specific stitch and where it's going to end. So I can fix a few mistakes right here. I'm gonna fix this little piece right here a bit. Pull that out. Okay. Oh, we'll make this red. Go to the color. Okay, now I'm gonna do a square, but I'm gonna make it a rectangle. Bring that down. Make it the same as the edge. I need to do a column just so it's a satin. Now I wanna make a note of this. You see how it's cutting over this circle, over the edge, the outline? I don't want that. So to fix that, I'm gonna change the orientation of this list. So if you go over to design, you can see what order it's gonna stitch in. So it's gonna be this one, this one, this one, this one. You wanna keep your colors with each other, just so when you're stitching out on the machine, you don't have to stop and switch a color, stop and then switch it back. You rather just get it all done at the same time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this last, and now this line is under this one. And that's it. I'm gonna take this down just so I can see if I got any mistakes. And I do. Fix that up a bit. Since it's all covered with the border, you're not gonna see any of this. I ain't messing with it. I'm gonna just leave it there. Okay, and that's it. And now you want to save it. So you're gonna go to the top, hit. You can choose to save it as a working file, so it's still on your computer and you're still able to make changes to the embroidery file. And that would be it. This one. And it's gonna pop up, and then you'll like title it and save it where you want. It's gonna say BE. But if it's a regular file, stitch file, and it's done. Once you save it as a PES, you cannot make any more changes to it. So if you stitch it out and you realize, oh, I need to fix this, you can't. So I suggest saving it as both. So you would have two different files of the same image. But like I said, if you make the design, you can switch it to whatever machine you're actually using. Since I'm using a Brother, I'm saving it as PES. And you can type it whatever you want to use. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, just leave any questions in the comments. Thank you for watching.